am to report I just spent, take away 6 minutes of it, the entire time washing dishes. I didn't get any hardly done. I've been trapped in fear of my life, unable to leave the room for so fucking long. You have no fucking idea how many dishes are piled up in here. While I did them, green light, leave the door open. Okay, you don't know how fucking scary that is. I'm not talking to the goddamn U.S. military coming in here. The good guys have been coming in here with the Allied Forces, GRU Guard, who knows who else. They'll tell you. I'm not talking to them, get a brain, I'm not talking to them. So I just, blind faith, I did what Jesus told me. I left the door open to the bathroom and I washed dishes as much as I could. I got a lot of the yucky water that was attracting bugs and making the room smell. It doesn't really make the room smell. I can't explain all this. The bodies and stuff I'm smelling are not my dishes, okay? Nor was it my garbage. When I exited, when I heard the YouTube blasting through the house, my YouTube, the body was gone, dude. I report this a million times. So they were playing with their dead bodies. That's fucking confirmed. Thank you for doing it, assholes. Listening to my YouTube, convinced I'm going to be arrested. What's new? For reporting the fucking murder and fucking bomb making here. And organ harvesting and everything else they do. Alright, so Jesus said just ignore it. Pay attention to the carbon monoxide explosive that's lit through the whole hallway and the bathroom. It's level 3, is overwhelming. Yes, it was. And pay attention to this martini gas. That is really fucking strong, and it's through the whole hallway and every room in this goddamn house. Okay, so the floor 1 was still lit up like 7-Eleven with all the lights, no more TV. And then while I was out there washing the dishes for another brief moment, that YouTube was just left on really low. And I could hear it in my extra room as I was getting dishes, and I could hear it through the house and in the bathroom. No, not the bathroom, sorry. Not the bathroom. I could hear it through the hallway and my room. It was loud, but not anything like before, okay? So they eventually turned it down after blasting it for God close to 10 minutes, easily. And so I continue with the door open to wash dishes, and I'm keeping a watchful eye. Anyone would. It's fucking horrifying in here. There's bodies and bombs, okay? And terrorists running everywhere. Anyway, so I'm doing that, and it's all quiet. There's no. For a moment there was, after my YouTube went down, it was low. Then it went back up to Thriller Whore. I heard all this. Thriller Whore. I don't have to describe it, thank God. It was really loud. Okay, that went for about a minute. And then it was off. And the whole fucking time, even right now, there's so much martini gas pumping in here. I feel like I feel like I had a drink, but this is a better way to say it. If you were to offer me car keys, I wouldn't drive it because it would be a guarantee that I would be, I gotta plug my ears, 80% likely to get into a fender bender. That's how it affects me. Okay, but that makes, I've heard them all the time, that makes people drop dead here. It is that fucking strong. They have filled the house, my extra room, my main room, every fucking where. It's unfucking believable. And this is not the first time, it's just I'm reporting it tonight. Out of the blue, I can report this. There has been stuff that's happened the last month, basically since I couldn't take my garbage out, right? It's been so extreme, it's nothing but armed conflict. And I can't talk about it, but do you think I'm gonna forget 1 second of that? No, fuck no. Half of it went over my head. In the fucking room above me, where I gotta stay focused on this. So the whole house is lit the entire time I'm washing dishes. They did this to me, just me as a target. With the door closed, they would light my bathroom up. So, I mean, every fucking thing they've done to me in the bathroom, okay? Every kind of poison. So I'm like, dude, who cares? This time it's better because the door is open. At least I have a little more air. The shit doesn't affect me. We've proven this back and forth. But they filled the whole house up, and it got stronger. It got stronger when I was washing the dishes this one time. But what I was noticing was what Jesus told me to was as I was washing the dishes, that carbon monoxide drifted away. That carbon monoxide chemical explosive weapon decreased about half, but it's still very present, and it's not overwhelming, but it's still very present, and you can fully detect it. You stand there, you're like, whoa, what's that? But you're not overwhelmed and overcome with the motherfucking thing. Okay, I washed it away with all that water, and I flushed the toilet. Okay, so, but the whole time I'm doing that, the martini is just fucking pouring into this house. And the YouTube was down, and it was just this running TV or something. Okay, so then my instincts kick in, my gut instinct, and God guided me. He said, you got about 10 more minutes. You need to wrap it up. It is getting dangerous now. And I'm like, okay, this is not the first fucking time I've heard that. So I start wrapping it up. There's a few dishes as a matter of fact, but Jesus told me exactly how many dishes to take out in the first place. Okay, and the mold and the inability to wash my dishes, I had to toss 2 bowls. I had to toss 2 bowls. One is a silver bowl for the Instapot, not the big one, but a smaller one I don't want to explain this. It's about a $10 bowl. I've had it for a couple of years. But I had to toss that. It's just too much fucking scrubbing. This is too fucking much here. Being trapped, you can imagine. It was like a science fucking project. And then this other plastic bowl, I needed to toss it anyways. It was a Rubbermaid. I can just replace that for about $10. Okay, so, but this is serious. I'm really fucking poor. And it's just a science project. I'm like, I'm not doing this with martini flowing and fucking terrace and my gut instinct, and Jesus is guiding me. First it was my gut. Just this hunch is getting dangerous. And then right after that, Jesus guided me. You got 10 minutes. You got to wrap it up. It's getting dangerous now. Okay, and that was my last bit of dishes that Jesus had told me to even take out in the first place, a certain amount, and what once. He told me what once. It was the science project. There was this fucking disgusting fucking filth in there. I didn't know. I was just giving up and throwing my hands up in the air with the dishes. So I'm glad he said those ones, grab those ones. So I did on my way out when I first started. And I dumped all the water out, and then I just rinsed them out so they're not too bad, and I left them there by the garbage, by the toilet. If you raid, they're there. Okay, that's mine. And I left them there. I'm just going to take them to the garbage, but at least they're rinsed. It's not a science project. There's no biohazard. But why am I worried about that anyway? Dead bodies, bombs, and fucking martini gas. It's because I just am, okay? I'm just that way. I don't want the shit in my room. I don't want to be scrubbing it with martini pumping in this house either. And at that point, my guts, my instinct was get it back in. It's getting bad. He said, you had 10 fucking minutes, but I want you in there before that. And then, okay, as soon as my gut instinct, as soon as Jesus said this, which was right back after, the TV started blasting the fucking Kingdom Come in the murder room, which means they're all piling in because I'm running the water and I fucked up the carbon monoxide explosives, which I know I did. But how are they coming in with the martini? So I'm just going to report this because I know for a matter of fact it's lit in here. And I heard 2 go down. Okay? I know that much. And I know this carbon monoxide fucking explosives. I'm not going to keep repeating everything I told you I witnessed. All right. So then they're piling in. And by the time I come back in, which was about 2 minutes after Jesus had warned me, and about 1 minute after they started blasting Thriller horror movie, all you could hear in the hallway, all you could hear in the whole house in my extra room is this Thriller horror movie out of nowhere. All of a sudden, I come back in here, and I figure this: whoever's thinking they're coming in here has some really bad fucking dangerous terrorists chasing after them. And then I was probably more than right, because at that point when I closed my door, I couldn't even do anything in there. I have to come right back into the goddamn alley room where you see me now, facing the fucking NYPD out the window there. They think they're cute with their purple car across the fucking alley. Yep, here I am. Okay, there's my report. Goodbye.